That's it. Carrying yourself to the shower. Good morning, everyone. So I had a random thought, or series of thoughts, I guess. And I'm just curious if this is happening to anybody else or if it's just me. I have begun to crave fat. Fatty things, fatty cuts of meat. I mean, I've always loved steak and things like that. But last Friday, today's Tuesday, so last Friday, I was running some errands with the babby, and we were heading back home, and it was getting about noontime. I think it was about 11 o'clock, and I was getting hungry. So I was thinking about what I wanted to eat for breakfast/lunch, and all I could think about was like a big fatty burger patty, medium rare, cheese on top with like an egg on top of that, and that just sounded so good to me. Like drippy, fatty, the type of burger you bite into and the juice just drips down your arm kind of meat. We've got a couple places, Culver's Burgers. I don't know if you have a Culver around you, but Culver's has similar burgers to what I was wanting. Obviously, I don't eat the buns, but there's another place close to downtown St. Pete called it's either Al or L. I think it's El Cap. They do like these. They're thinner patties, but they're cooked on a like a fry top. And they get kind of crispy around the edge, but they're fatty burgers that, again, you bite into them and the juice just runs down your arms. And that's what I kept thinking about. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds so good. So I got home. I didn't have any burger patties. I mean, I have them, but they're frozen. So I wasn't going to wait, an hour for a patty to thaw. But I did have some like leftover ground beef. And so I took that and I put it in a pan, warmed it up, and put in like 2 tablespoons of butter with it. And I think I did like a tablespoon of avocado oil too. And just mixed everything all together. Took that out, put it in a bowl, and then fried 2 or 3 eggs in the leftover fat from that. And then poured the eggs and everything that was left over into that bowl. And I took my fork and I just broke up the eggs. I like my eggs over easy. So I broke up the eggs and the yolks mixed in with everything. And it just made this wonderful, the only word I can think of to describe it is slop. It was just delicious. It was, ground beef and egg just all mixed together in a bowl. And it was just amazing. And I made it this morning again for breakfast, and that's what it looks like. It ain't pretty, but it's tasty. But I was thinking as I was doing it, I was like, it's not the first time that I've heard of people liking food like that. Like, I've found that I really like one dish sort of bowl eating meals. And I've heard several YouTubers, women in particular, and I don't know why it's women specifically, who, I've done, I actually posted on my Instagram in early August when we were down in Sanibel. My family had made spaghetti for dinner while we were down there, but obviously I'm not eating spaghetti. So what I did was I took, zucchini or yellow squash and cut it into half moons, and then cut that in half, sliced it into half moons and then cut the half moons in half again, so they were like little triangles. Or I might have just left them half moons. I don't remember. Anyway, it's inconsequential. And then once everybody got their stuff, I sauteed it. Oh, I'm hitting my fork. I sauteed up my squash and then added the sauce to that and kind of cooked everything together, added cheese on top, and threw it all in a bowl, and that was dinner, and it was amazing. And that it ended up being almost like a almost like a tomato stew. It was really, really good. And I've done that before and since, but I like it better than spaghetti, honestly. I really, really do. No lethargy after eating kind of thing. But if you've watched my prior video, you know Friday night I had a wine tasting with some of the other moms and Girl Scouts, and I had cookies. So Saturday morning I was like, oh God, I feel terrible. And I joked with my husband that it was going to be a beef and butter day. And so I basically did the same thing for breakfast that day as well. And by that afternoon, I felt fine. I felt really good. So it didn't derail me too bad. And what was it? Was it Saturday? What did I do Saturday? Oh, Saturday I had a steak. So that was steak for dinner. So it was beef and butter. That's about it. I didn't really have any sides because I was trying to stay away from carby things. So Sunday we usually go out to eat with my folks and after church in the morning. And we go to a diner, so you can get anything you want. So it was eggs and like tomato slices kind of deal. Yesterday though, I don't know what happened. I got sick, and I don't know if it was something that was related to me eating the cookies and something that I knew I probably should have stayed away from. My daughter was sick last week, but hers was the standard head cold. It started in her throat, went to her nose, and now it's just sort of petering out. I gave her zinc lozenges at the start of it, and it just seems to, go away in a couple of days. And yesterday, I woke up, I felt fine. Felt 100% perfect yesterday. Actually made the Crackslaw video with the sausage and the kale, and the rotel. Got done making the video and sat down and ate the Crackslaw, and after eating it, I felt like I'd eaten Thanksgiving dinner. Like, I was exhausted. And that never happens to me eating keto. Ever. Unless it's got, like, the hidden carbs in there, and I've eaten something that spiked my blood sugar. But I just felt so bad. And I was like, well, that's bizarre. Because what I was eating was nothing but, sausage, greens, and some canned tomato. Which shouldn't have caused me any problem. And so baby was asleep. She was taking her nap, and I figured, you know what, I'm just going to go lay down. So I lay down in bed, and I felt like I had been hit by a Mack truck. Everything hurt. And I mean everything. My arms, my shoulders, my head, my legs. I felt like I had the flu almost. But I didn't have a sore throat, didn't have a runny nose, none of that stuff. And so I took my temperature, and I had like a low temperature. It was like 99.5 or something like that. I was like, okay, that's weird, but okay. And I took a hour nap, and, God bless my baby. She is the best baby in the world. I slept for it wasn't really a good sleep. It was kind of in and out and off and on, weird dreams type sleep, but she stayed in her crib. She woke up. I'd been laying down for about an hour, and I could hear her on the monitor wake up. And she just sat in her crib and played with a couple little toys that she's got in there, happy as a clam for like another hour, hour and a half. And it let me sort of rest. I didn't go in there. I didn't bother her. And it just sort of let me rest for a little while longer. Got up, still felt like crap. Still just like someone had beaten me up. Like I had been in a fight and lost. And so I had to go get my eldest. So I got up, got the baby ready, went and got my eldest daughter, and I just, so bad. And getting out of the car, I took the baby, but I told my daughter, get the diaper back. I can't even right now. I carried the baby inside and, you know, just getting out of the car, like putting one leg out the side door and trying to turn my body. It was just like, oh, why? And I got inside and I took the baby out and sat her on the floor, and I sat on the couch and I just sort of vegged there for the duration of the evening. My husband got home and I was like, I am not feeling it tonight. And so I went to bed early. I had made some chicken. I pulled chicken out that morning. So I went ahead and I put the chicken in the oven because that wasn't exactly labor intensive, and made some instant rice for them. And I ate the leftover sausage and kale with a chicken thigh. But after I was done, I told my husband, I'm like, I'm done. I gotta go. I can't. I can't even right now. And so I went to bed early and I took my temperature and it was like 100.7, which isn't like a crazy high temperature, but it's still a fever. And so I went to bed early and I woke up this morning and fever had broke in the night. Obviously, I felt my muscles don't hurt today like they did yesterday, but you know how you wake up and your fever's broke and you sweat and you get up and there's like that outline of your body in the sheets. Yeah, that's it. Carrying yourself to the shower. But I mean, like right now, like I feel 90% better, but like just a couple minutes ago as I was setting up the camera for this, I must have had like a low grade, probably like 99 fever. And it broke, and I just started sweating. So I'm like, right now, like I'm dying. But I wonder if it had anything to do, like me picking up maybe whatever my daughter had, or something else, because it happened kind of in correlation to me. My hair is all wonkadoo. Happened in correlation to me eating the cookies and drinking the wine that evening and all that stuff. And wine tends to kick my butt anyway, which is not good. I tend to just wake up hungover even though I've had like a glass of wine. I stick to the hard stuff when I do drink, which isn't very often. It's been like a year and a half. But yeah, so I mean, this morning, yeah, I did the slop again. Cause it's just so good. So good. Like bowls of mixed mashed up food. And I'm just wondering if anybody else does that, or is it just me? I mean, I can't imagine it's just me, but you know, I'm just wondering if anybody else, you know, any fellas out there, you know, do that too. They're like, no, I just like to mush things up in a bowl and eat it. But it is really good. So, that was my sort of random thought for the day. Yeah, let me know. Let me know if you also like slop in a bowl as well. Soup could be included in that as well if you like prefer soups over everything else. But I just found that really funny. It's like chopped up stuff I just throw in a bowl. Maybe it's the fact that I don't want to do more dishes than I have to. But yeah, so that was my random thought for the day. So, we'll talk to you later. Bye.